So, again, I harp on and on about the importance of rearranging formulas. We're going to see that come up again. So we have everything out of our hands because this is the goal. This is the part of the lesson where you need to be paying attention. What you will need to do between now and when you, particularly when you sit in your next exam, you take that out of your hands and you don't need your bag on your lap. You're going to learn SOHCAHTOA. Okay, I'm going to write it up, but initially, but you do need to get to a point where you remember it off by heart. Now, this little device helps us remember which trig identity goes with which sides. So when we look at that, sine goes with opposite and hypotenuse. Cos goes with adjacent and hypotenuse, and tan goes with opposite and adjacent. So no matter what sides we're given, we have a trig function that we can use. Now this shouldn't be easy. No person in the room should understand what I'm talking about right now. It takes practice. So if I look at this problem here, the first thing I need to do is say, well, what is it asking me to do? What do you think this problem is asking me to do?
Find x.
Yeah, so it's asking me to solve for x. So like all good mathematicians, I say, what have I got? What type of triangle is it, first of all? Right angle triangle. So I know I'm dealing with trig or Pythag. Now I say, do I have an angle?
Yeah.
So that tells me immediately that I'm not dealing with Pythag, I'm dealing with trig. So if I'm dealing with trig, I need to label my sides. What sides? What's this side here? Hypotenuse. And what's this side here? Opposite. So now I look at my SOHCAHTOA and I say, which one has opposite and hypotenuse? Sine. So now I just write sine theta, I just write the equation. Sine theta equals opposite over hypotenuse. Yep, I would write this down. So once I've identified that, what should I do? Once I know my equation, what's the next step? Ashton? Once I know what equation I'm using, because I know this is the equation I'm using, what's my next step?
Figure it out.
Figure it out?
By
What do you-
adding the numbers in.
Yeah, replacing things, letters, pronumerals with values, correct? So what side do I know? Which is my what? So instead of writing hypotenuse, I'm going to write 10. Do I know what opposite is?
No.
So I write x, correct? Now sine doesn't change. Do I know anything else?
Yeah, the angle.
So what do you reckon I do with that?
Time.
What do you reckon I do with the angle?
Show where theta was.
Show where theta was. Okay? So you know how I keep writing theta up here? That's my angle, so sine for angle. So instead of writing theta, I put in the value for my angle. So write that out,
How do we know we're using the same?
because you know you've got the opposite and the hypotenuse. Yeah, but because I want the opposite, I have the hypotenuse. So what do I want or what do I have? They're the questions I'm asking. So now that I've got this, what's going on? Tell me what's going on. What do I want to know?
Yes.
X. So how do I go about that? Where do I want X? Where do I want X?
Opposite.
I'm happy with it on the right. Where do I want it though? By itself on one side of the equation, correct? What's stopping the extra being by itself?
10.
What's it doing to the opposite?
It's divide.
So what do I do? Times both sides by 10, correct? What happens to the 10s on the right? And then what we do is we get our calculators out and we shove that in.
Just that.
And I'm going to guess you get an answer of 5. Just sit. We'll go around behind it. Okay. Just right, guys. It's all good. is in the middle.
Different out.
Is it yours? Yeah, where's yours?
Oh, I see it.
Yep. So look for, so you write 10 times sine, and then you write 30 in the brackets at the end of the bracket.
It is 5.
And it's 5, correct?
Yes.
If it's not 5, you might have done it correct, but your calculator might be in a different setting. I'll fix it up for you.
Oh.
Okay, but if you've got that problem, just see me afterwards and I'll
Wait,
fix
10
it up.
times.
Sine 30,
Oh.
and then end bracket.
Oh, you're calculating.
Okay? Now, obviously it's not, would it be good practice for me to leave that there and say, off you go, you now know trigonometry?
Yes.
Obviously I'm teaching some very intelligent human beings because it took me far longer than one example to know how to use trigonometry. So we need to have some practices. Now, first thing I'm going to do is give you some examples, and then I'm going to write next to it which identity you're using. Okay? Because I don't really want to nail that yet. I want us to get used to rearranging. So, let's drop a triangle.
Watch how it gets water.
Okay, I'm going to make that 30 degrees again. I'm going to make this 15, and I'm going to make this x. Okay, what does that look like? Yeah, does it look like an example we've just done?
Yes.
Very similar to an example we've just done, okay? Question 2. So I'm going to get you get started on that, and then I'll come and put along some values.
So this is only for writing? Yes.
Yep, only for right angle triangles. So it's question 2, we'll go to question 3. Okay, well, and that needs a right angle. So I want you to get started on those. The first thing you need to do is identify what sides we're dealing with here. So look at the sides of the triangle, label your triangles, and then try and figure out which identity to use.